Hey, I am Michelle Marie, and I'm coming up next on the Vinnie Langdon Show.
Are you ready for the show? Lights, camera, action! Let's go! Let's go! With your host named Vinnie. Not here just to give you the skinny. Time to get the 411. Let's have some fun. Let's go! The Vinnie Langdon Show. Come on, let's go! Alright, the Vinnie Langdon Show. Let's go! It's the Vinnie Langdon Show. Let's go! The Vinnie Langdon Show. Alright, the Vinnie Langdon Show. Let's go! It's the Vinnie Langdon Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Vinnie Langdon Show. Wow, I have not said that in I don't even remember how long. It's been a while. I've been busy, and someone said the other day I ran into them. They're like, "You got to bring the Vinnie Langdon Show back," and I said, oh man, maybe we'll see what happens. And I couldn't think of a better guest to jump back into this by bringing a longtime friend of mine onto this episode here. I want to present to you guys a good friend of mine for quite some time now. Please welcome Michelle Marie. What's up, Michelle? How are you?
Everybody, and hey, Vinny, glad to be here to pull you out of retirement. That's always fun.
Retirement. Whoa, hey now. That's okay. So, well, it's good to be able to do this conversation with you because you and I have been, collaborating and under the wraps working on some stuff for the past year, and you've been quite busy. So I'm excited to be able to, get the word out there, and why not better to do it together. So, but before we jump into the big surprises and what we've been working on, I want to let you introduce yourself to all my viewers. You're a singer-songwriter from Florida, and tell us, how did it all start for you?
So, gosh, I've been singing forever since I was about 4 years old. I remember there's this very family famous home video of me when I was around 2 or 3 years old, running around the living room singing the entirety of the Wizard of Oz. So singing has kind of always been in my veins. When I was 4 years old, I watched Carrie Underwood win American Idol, and I turned and I looked at my mom and I said, "Mom, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be on American Idol." And she was like, "Oh, you're so cute. You're such a beautiful, adorable little 4 year old," not knowing that I was completely 1000% serious. So I completed that goal or dream of mine in 2016. I was on season 15 of American Idol. I ended up making it all the way up to the final judgment round, which is where they announced the top 24. And that was where I was cut from the competition. So after that, I started, playing all around town here in Central Florida. I've expanded my reach. I play in Georgia, Tennessee, Maryland, and I'm working on a few other states, just trying to, perform wherever and that I can.
Yeah, and over the years of working with different artists, my biggest advice for them is, don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and expand. And that's the way, artists kind of blow up and get big. If you are a singer-songwriter and you're playing those same 4 or 5 venues on repeat, it's great. You're going to get a nice following from the locals, but, only those 100, 200, 500 people are going to know you. And if you start spreading the word and going out of your comfort zone and playing different venues, that is how you grow as an artist. So I think you're being on the right track doing that. You did mention American Idol, and that was a great opportunity for you to just kind of get your name out there and platform. And you and I have had these conversations before where and some of the general audience watches the show, and the biggest thing that we always hear is, hey, so and so won American Idol, but you never hear from them again. And, for someone like you, you're probably thinking, well, I'm glad I didn't win the show because I probably wouldn't have gone far as I have. So what's your take on that?
It's not only just that. I went into the competition knowing that I was 15 when I auditioned. I was 16 during Hollywood Week. Like, I knew that I was on the younger side. I was very, very green. So I went into the competition knowing that I probably wasn't going to win and that I would ride that wave out as long as I could. So I guess most people do the show to win. I went into the competition kind of figuring out, like it's cool to make it to this spot, but I don't think we'll win because we're on the younger side. And I was right about that. And I'm a believer in God. So I believe that God, has the reins and he knew what I needed in that moment. And what I needed in that moment was not to win. I needed to learn how to face rejection, grow that thick skin that the industry needs. While I would have loved to have experienced that, I never then and never now was ever upset that I was eliminated from the competition.
Right, right. Yeah, sometimes it's like, and maybe, I mean, I can't speak for the other idols, but sometimes you kind of wonder that, right? You're like, well, if they got eliminated, maybe their hearts were broken and maybe they think that is the end of the road and they just said, okay, I'm just going to go flip burgers or do whatever I have to do in life. And maybe that's not meant for me. But that, I think they often forget, hey, it is a singing reality show. If it's not meant to be, it's
Boom.
okay.
That's what it
But,
is. And it's a
yeah.
fun reality show. The producers and the camera people, boom, boom, boom. All of them are very, very nice, and they're there to do their job. And all in all, it's free exposure. It doesn't cost anything to do that. And in this day and age, especially with the way the industry is, the way that everything is pay to play, I think, like, I know that the reality television route isn't what it used to be. Like, obviously, it doesn't create Carrie Underwood's and Kelly Clarkson's anymore. But I still stand by the fact that it is one of the best free promotion tools out there for an artist. As long as you've got the time to do it, it gives you exposure that you just can't buy.
Exactly, exactly. And that was my next follow-up question is for someone who has been through the reign of it, would you recommend if someone says, hey, my daughter's thinking about auditioning for the show, nearby, or hey, I'm a great singer, I should be on the show. Should I try it or is it a waste of time? What is your take on that?
I definitely don't think that it is a waste of time. I think that there is so many different things that you can get from the show outside of winning. I have so many friends from the show. I'm not even talking like the fans that follow me around. I have contestants that I still speak to, on the regular. I have so many lessons that I learned doing the competition. Like I learned how to deal with high stress situations with cameras on you at all times, which can be terrifying because, like when a normal person has a bad day, they get to go home and they forget about it. If you have a bad day on American Idol in front of the cameras, you're never going to forget that because there's going to be video of it. So you learn how to handle yourself like everybody's watching. You learn how to learn music quickly on the fly. There's so much more benefits from the show outside of winning that you get from doing the competition, even when you get eliminated. So I definitely recommend it for sure.
Yeah, definitely good insight there from you. And people are probably wondering, well, what are you working on now? You have an album you're about to release at the end of the month that you actually got to go to Tennessee and record that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my album Glitter Cowgirl, it actually releases in a few days. The release date is June 13th, 2025. I am so excited about it. And a little backstory about how the album came about. Um, I was going through some stuff on a personal level in my personal life. I was going through stuff in my music life. It just kind of like everything was going wrong all at once. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to just like take a step back. And my mom was like, yeah, we're not going to think like that. So she was like, why don't we just take a breath, get out of Daytona for a second? Why don't we go to Nashville? Just chill out. We'll go to Nashville. And it just so happened that the winner of my season, Trent Harmon, who I'm still kind of close with, was supposed to be playing the Bluebird in January of, I think, 2023. His show got snowed out, but we were already on the plane when that happened. So we found ourselves in Nashville, Tennessee with no plans. And my mom was looking for stuff for us to do. And wouldn't you know it, she was on Airbnb and there was like little excursion tabs. And one of the excursions was build a song in a day. So she did that for me without me knowing. And we drove to this little home studio in Antioch, Tennessee. I met this incredible music producer by the name of Caleb Sherman. He also has an amazing band with his wife called The Infamous Her. They're so awesome. You should totally check them out if you get a chance. They're like, ooh, phenomenal. But I went there. I was like, I didn't know that this is what I was doing. So let me sing you a couple songs. And he was like, yeah, usually I tell people that there's a bad song in the bunch, but there's not a bad song in that bunch. So just do what song you feel is right. So I ended up recording one song with him. And then the next day, he was like, let's get those other two songs recorded. We'll work it out. So then I went back the next day and recorded those two songs. And I was like, you know what? Why stop here? I was like, how about I go home? I raise some money. I come back and we make it a full feature album. And that's what I did. So I went home. I started doing, extra DoorDash, extra Uber Eats, extra gigs. And I saved up as much money as I could, flew back out to Nashville in March of that year and recorded the rest of the album. So all in all, it is 11 songs. And then my song Glitter Cowgirl had a beautiful lightning strike moment in Nashville, Tennessee. So when I wrote the song Glitter Cowgirl, I wrote it kind of while I was up there. So I had no intentions of putting this song on the album. But I was having writer's block for another song that I wanted to put on the album. And I looked up ways to, fix that. And one of those was write a silly song about yourself. And I was like, well, when I was on American Idol, all I did was wear glitter. All through middle and high school, all I did was wear glitter, and people poked fun at it all the time. So I made a silly song that I didn't take seriously called Glitter Cowgirl. Well, the next day, I got to go to Dierks Bentley's bar, Whiskey Row, and they were doing Whiskey Jam, which is a original music showcase. It's one of the biggest in Nashville. So many of the greats have played it, like Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, Maren Morris. I'm telling anybody who is somebody climbing through the ranks, they did Whiskey Jam. I had no clue what Whiskey Jam was when I went into Dirk's bar. My friend that I was staying with, Christina, she was like, you have to go do this. You have to try. Now, normally you have to be like, submit and be picked for it. This was like a weird one-off open mic thing that comes around once in a blue moon. So I get there and half of Nashville is there. Like so many people, I'm not even kidding you. We're packed in there like sardines. I'm like, there is no way I'm going to get picked for this. So I put in all my information in the commuter and they're like, yep, you're good. You're registered. Just wait in the crowd and we'll call people up. I was the first person called.
Oh,
I
wow.
literally I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I go up and they're like, what song are you going to sing? And I was like, well, I just wrote this one. So you guys can tell me if it's a hit or not. And so we did Glitter Cowgirl. And the way it worked is I played a couple chords for the band and then the band played with me. It was such a beautiful experience. So I did the song. Ward Gunther, the runner of Whiskey Jam, was like, one, you need to move here. Two, you should get that song recorded. It's awesome. So I ended up booting one of my songs, recorded Glitter Cowgirl, showed so many people the song, and over the course of the couple months, it went from, being a song that I thought was a joke to being like the entire identity and title of my debut album. So
Yeah, there you go. And, a woman of faith, you were talking about, it's all about God's timing. And that just shows you right there that, it was because you had no expectations. You walk in there going, what am I doing here? And then boom,
yeah,
look what happened. So very cool. Very cool.
you can get me on the stage. If God, I was like, if you get anywhere there's you can get me on the stage, get me on the stage. I was like totally like, I don't know if you ever joke with God, but I was like, this is like not the most serious prayer in the world, but if you can get me on that stage, that'd be cool. And then I was the first person called. I was like, thank you, dude. Like that was wow.
That is awesome. Well, they do say God does have a sense of humor too. He's not serious all the time, so that's good. There you go. Now, I do remember it was over a year ago. You reached out to me and I was just like, oh, wow. I was so humbled and like, wow, what an awesome opportunity. You approached me and you said, hey, I just, I'm finishing up this album and I'm thinking about a music video and would you like to work with me? And I was like, Absolutely. You know, you and I have became good friends over the years, had some awesome conversations over the years, and always kept
Yeah.
an eye on you, what you were doing. And so let's tell everyone about that. What Money Can't Buy, a fun video you got to work on. And we'll actually show that in just a few moments. But cue it up for us, Michelle.
So, What Money Can't Buy is a song that I wrote kind of talking about all of life's blessings, because, especially in this day and age when everything is just getting more scary, more expensive, and more a little uncertain, I think in these times, it's really, really important, rather than focusing on what you don't have and focusing on what's going wrong. I think, like, if we just change our mindsets and say, wait a second, look at all that I have already, right? And that's kind of the premise of the song. And what I love about the music video is the music video falls in right around that, because it's not like a super big bells and whistles. It wasn't a $50,000 music video. It was a home music video that was recorded by my mom and myself, that was sent to you to be spliced up and edited. And I think that what we did for the music video, how we did it, is just perfect for the song and what the song speaks for.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it shows what I think, will set you apart too is, country music videos, especially that genre, is all about storytelling. And I know when you were talking to me, you're like, hey, I'm thinking about putting my mom in the video and I'm thinking about putting my sister in the video. And I was like, do it. That is so cool. Like to show the type of personality you are, going back to like even those conversations about American Idol, we often hear a lot of people don't make it through the show because they don't know who they are as an artist. And for
Mm.
you, what we're going to show at this video is it does give you not a full 180-degree glimpse into the everyday life of Michelle, but it gives you just a little peek of like, this is who she is, family oriented and love hanging out with her friends. And I think that's very important as an artist, especially when it's, one of your first videos that you put out. So well done.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool. Well, without further ado, here is What Money Can't Buy by Michelle Marie. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what happens after this video releases. So we'll see you in a second.
I've seen many folks spend their whole lives chasing down a pot of gold. What they don't understand
What a catchy song that is. And of course, me being the editor of that video, I listened to it probably 500,000 times and then
Think
that
about
was
that
fun.
aspect of it. You were probably sick of the song by the end of the video.
I'm sitting there singing along and going, da, 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 I'm like, then I would leave, I'd come back and I'm like, all right, I got to finish this
So
up. But
technically, I am the subject of this interview, but I actually have never asked this question. How long did it take you to work on the video? Like, how many like actual hours did you put into it? I'm curious to know.
you know what? That's a great question, Michelle. I honestly don't know. I always, it was probably between, I don't know, 10 and 50 hours. And then I remember finishing up the edits and it was mainly just you singing, I believe, if I'm correct. And then I was like, hey, here's an edit. And then you would be like, hey, by the way, I think tomorrow I'm gonna go film some more footage with me and my friends. And oh, I'm going to the beach this week, next weekend. Just hold off on the video and I'll send you more footage. And I was just like, this is great. Just keep adding to it. So honestly, I have no idea. I know it was a very quick turnaround as far as videos, because usually it's could be a month long process. But
No,
I think between you and I collaborating on this, it was probably like a 2 week turnaround, which wasn't bad at all. So.
and especially for a music video, a lot of them take quite some time, and that's what I mean. Like, especially like it being like my first major music video, the way that we did it is so like I'm not gonna say it's not industry standard, but you can definitely tell that it's got some indie artist touches to it. So, and I think that it's perfect for the song. I don't think I would have liked it if it was like bells and whistles from like a record company. I think this is perfect for where we're at right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was fun. I remember you're like, hey, I have this vision and it's blah, 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 blah. And I want to, show that I'm, a home buddy and I teach music lessons and I want to show a little bit of that. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to write you a shot list. You go do it. You take care of it. Send it back. And then I was like, cool, let's mesh it together. So
That's
that was very fun.
the thing I forgot. I included my students, and one of my students, his name is Kekoa. He is the most adorable little boy. Was running around telling all of his teachers that he was going to be famous because he was in a music video. So
There
it
you
was so
go.
cool to like share that moment with my kids too. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is great. And, speaking of the video, it was very exciting to get a call from you to find out that this particular video that everyone just saw got nominated for an award. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So I think I even messaged you because I was like, I think I randomly was like, hey, what's your email or something? And you were like, what's going on? I was like, I'll tell you if there's something to tell.
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, can I have like your social security, your ID, your government ID?" And I was like, "Wait, what for?" No, no, she didn't go that far, but it had that feeling to it. I'm like, Why is this girl? Why is my
So
friend wanting all my info?" But yeah, go ahead.
I didn't even tell my folks what I was doing because like I don't want to get my own hopes up, let alone get anybody else's hopes up. So this is my very first time ever doing something like this, but it's called the Josie Music Awards. It is the biggest independent music awards in the country. This year, over 100,000 independent music artists and businesses submitted for these awards. So the reason I didn't tell anybody I was doing it is because I was like, there's no way it's going to happen. It's my first year, really trying. And I, lo and behold, found out that I have been nominated, and you don't know this yet, but for three, as of right now, Josie Music Awards. The first one, I think, is the most important one to Mr. Vinnie, and that is Music Video of the Year Female for our music video, What Money Can't Buy. The second nomination that I got was Vocalist of the Year for country music. And this one I just found out about today. It's kind of one of the bigger ones. I got nominated for Rising Star Country Music Female. So I'm super duper excited. I'm still waiting on a couple more. So, like the song and album categories. I didn't have an album out yet, so I didn't submit for that, but I did submit a few of my songs for some of the song categories. And obviously, I will keep you guys and Vinny updated if I find out about any more nominations. But these awards are so incredible, you guys, because they happen at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee, which is like, if you don't know, that's literally like the heartbeat of country music. So I'm so honored to be up for an award and to like get to like do the thing. I'm gonna get to walk a carpet and talk to people and feel a little famous for a day.
No, I'm very proud of you because to see, I've known you for, since American Idol, and to just see you watch and grow as an artist and as a person, it's definitely fun to see. And but yeah, the Grand Ole Opry, the home of, music icons and legends for decades and decades. And I think what makes this really even special too is that this is the 100th year of the Grand Ole Opry. I believe, if I'm correct, last year they had the awards at Dollywood, which was pretty cool too. But for this to be at the Grand Ole Opry, yeah, I have no words. This is going to be an
So
amazing opportunity.
that I did that I'm still waiting to hear about. And I'm crossing my fingers and my toes, and I got all my different church groups praying for it. I submitted a performance application, and one of my goals post American Idol was to get to play their Grand Ole Opry. And if I get chosen to showcase, that means I get to step in the circle on that day. So if everybody watching this video could cross their fingers, toes, say prayers, burn your sage, do whatever you do, cross your fingers for me. It would mean the world because that would be checking something huge off of my bucket list.
Michelle, I'm very curious to see where you're going to end up in the next 10 years of this music world. I don't think you're going to put the brakes on anytime soon. So I wish you best of luck. We're going to have fun in Nashville. I'm already planning on buying a cowboy hat and doing a big yeehaw with you. It's going to be fun. So look forward to October, November to
Yep.
Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be a good old time. So everybody stay tuned to see what she's doing. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't mention this, but we also did a lyric video for one of the songs off of the album as well.
I'm excited, and I'm probably going to be contacting you a little bit later because I think there's one more that could benefit from a lyrics video off of the album. So,
Yeah, that'll be fun to work on. So make sure you guys go follow and support. She's on Instagram, X. Do you still use X?
barely, but I'm there.
Yeah. So anyway, so just look up Michelle Marie. Remember, it's with the two C's. And Michelle, always great talking with you. And
And
keep,
for having me and promoting the album. It means the world to me. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for pulling me out of retirement. Now everyone's gonna go, when's your next episode? Like, I don't know. Thanks a lot, Michelle. All your fault. So, but that's okay. So, anyways, thanks so much for watching this episode of the Vinnie Langdon Show. And follow Vinnie Langdon Show on YouTube and click that subscribe button, like, comment. And also, she has a YouTube channel as well. And support her and keep following her because you never know what can happen next. So, thanks for watching, guys. Michelle, we'll see you in a couple of months in Nashville, and we'll do another live in-person interview. And we will see you guys in the future.
Yep.
Good
See you
night.
later.